And here is my secret little grocery haul. I do have Livy's little cold thing, but I'm mostly sick because I'm super nauseous. So I ended up picking up the vitamin B6. I already take vitamin B12. I could take both of these in the morning and hopefully quell some of the nausea. And then my best friend recommended getting animal crackers because she said that helped her through her morning sickness. I got this giant bag here. Hopefully those will be good to have. And she said she just carried a bag with her like all the time, just like a little Ziploc bag. So I'll probably end up doing that as well.
Hey everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and today is my week 5 pregnancy update. I am 5 weeks and a couple of days. My dates just go by my last period, so it might be a little bit off. I have a list of questions I'm going to walk through this week, and basically there's not a whole lot that's different from last week, except all of my symptoms have just kind of skyrocketed. I am just super nauseous, super sick feeling, really tired. Everything has just been on increase this week, so I definitely feel really pregnant, and that's really good. The hormones are pumping. I did end up getting my 48-hour blood work. On the first day, my HCG was 221, and then on the 48 hours later, so 2 days later, it was 756. So it more than tripled, which was awesome. You really want that number to at least double by 48 hours. So it's definitely, the hormones are pumping. I feel it really strongly this week. Way worse than last week. I do have a pregnancy playlist of my pregnancy with Olivia, so I will link that down below if you want to see that. And I will have a new pregnancy playlist for baby number 2 down there as well. So you can check out both of those pregnancy playlists if you're interested. If you're coming across this video as you're pregnant, you can see both of the pregnancies that way. Also, if you have questions, definitely leave them in the comments down below and I'll try to answer them in future weekly updates. Since you guys aren't seeing these first few in real time, I will probably answer it on like week 7, 8, or 9, depending on when we actually announce it. And then from there on out, I'll answer the questions in more real time. I'll answer them the following week. So just leave those questions down below as you come up with them, and I'll be happy to answer them in the future. Now, as far as keeping track of all the pregnancy symptoms and things, I have a list of questions I'm keeping track in my iPad planner. So this is just my Digi planner here. I do have a Digi planner shop, so I'll link that down below. I do have this exact planner. I use the program called Good Notes number 5 as my Digi planner setup thing. But I'm gonna keep track of my pregnancy that way. And like I have this page set up as week 5, I have a duplicate page set up as well. So I could just copy the page and then fill it out from week to week as I'm going along. And then if I want to scrapbook any of it later, I can, or just have the notes to look back on, but I'm keeping them in my actual planner for the year. So if you see me looking down, that is why. I think that gets all of the stuff out of the way. So let's go ahead and dive into my week 5 questions. I am 5 weeks pregnant and the baby is the size of an apple seed. And in the last video, I just watched my week 5, I said sesame seed there. I guess it just depends on what app I was using. I'm using the Bump app this time. So that's what they said is apple seed size. I'm gonna do 2 symptom related questions, just new symptoms that pop up and then also lingering symptoms. So I don't really have much in the way of new symptoms. They're just, all of my symptoms have really gone just really extreme. And the stomach issue I was having, I told you guys last week, my stomach just does not feel happy. It feels like I'm getting over like a stomach bug or I'm going to get a stomach bug. Just feels like that, like my stomach's just not happy. It doesn't matter what I eat, what I don't eat, how much I drink or don't drink. I just feel like I'm on the verge of being really sick to my stomach. And as far as that last week, it was mostly like I was feeling sick as in throwing up. Well, this week it feels like it's gonna start coming out both ends. And you're watching a pregnancy update. I shouldn't have to tell you guys everything is gonna be TMI, but that's just how it is when you're pregnant. Sometimes you just feel like things are gonna start coming out both ends. And so far, I haven't had any problems with either end, but it definitely feels like it could happen at any point in time. I just still feel the same, pretty much just 24/7. I just feel kind of miserable stomach digestive wise. And before I talked about my nausea was getting worse and I'd feel nauseous a couple of times a day. Well, now I'm just kind of nauseous all the time. And again, it doesn't help to eat anything. It doesn't help if I don't eat. It's just kind of an all the time thing at this point. Thankfully, I haven't thrown up yet. I haven't had moments that have been close calls or anything where I've had to run to the bathroom or anything. I just feel like I could. I am also just exhausted. I've been going to bed at like 9 and 10 p.m., which you guys know if you watched any of my videos about, especially about goal planning and planners. I've been really trying to go to bed by midnight and it mostly doesn't happen. Like I am up still by like 1 a.m. I'm still awake and now I'm going to bed at like 9 and 10 p.m. I could barely make it till like 11 p.m. some nights. In the first few hours of the day, I don't feel quite as tired, but as the day goes on, I'm just dragging. Really, really different from where I was just a couple of weeks ago. I felt like I had a bunch of energy, and now I just want to lay down all day long. It's not as easy when I have a little 4-year-old running around, or almost 4. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. As far as cravings go, I don't really have many. I don't have any really strong aversions either. It's just I'm at the point that like nothing sounds really good. I don't have much of an appetite at all. The only thing that I've had a couple of times is hamburgers, and they are just so good. When I have them, they're good. I've eaten them in like sections. So like I'll eat like half of a burger at a certain point, and then later in the day I'll finish the burger. But I was thinking about it, and I've had 3 burgers in the last 2 weeks. So that's really unusual for me. Like maybe once a month at the most we'll go have burgers, but it's been 3. So I would definitely consider that a craving at this point, especially when nothing is sounding good. And the other thing I've been craving is ice cream. I really wanted just Oreo Sonic Blasts, and these cravings are really mild. It's not like last time where I felt like I have got to have egg rolls, and I really craved egg rolls nonstop for the first few weeks of my pregnancy with Olivia. I've not had strong cravings like that at all. Now I'm just like, oh, a burger sounds really good, or the Sonic Blast sounds really good. And we do have Oreos and vanilla ice cream. I have made one at home. I've been mostly just eating soup. As far as weight, I weigh myself on Friday, so the weight is a little bit off from the like exact week mark, but I am down about ½ a pound from last week. So that's still 2.5 pounds up from my pre-pregnancy. So I have my weight now as 169.5. So, I mean, ½ a pound could totally just be water weight. Nothing exciting, but I pretty much stayed steady for the last week. I have the question as new discoveries or tips, and my new discovery this week is just that nothing's helping. I thought maybe taking like smaller meals here and there would help, and it seems like I'm just having that same level of upset stomach no matter what I do, no matter what I eat, when I eat. And so I'm just trying to force myself to eat here and there. I don't really notice it getting worse if I take too long to eat, but I know I need to eat because I'm really prone to migraines, especially with my hormones fluctuating. And thus far, knock on wood, I have not had a migraine, and by now in my last pregnancy I had had multiple migraines at this point. So this has been really good. I am protected from the Botox that I got a couple months ago, so that should help me hopefully the next couple of months. So comparing this pregnancy to Olivia's pregnancy, I was definitely tired at this point in my pregnancy with Olivia, and I was taking a lot of naps, but I don't think I was nearly this nauseous or just generally feeling blah. I had a couple of major nausea moments when I was pregnant with her. In the week 5 video, I talked about that, and I have just had this just overall feeling of nausea and stomach upset pretty much this whole week. And then again, I had major cravings when I was pregnant with her, and so far not really anything has been tickling my fancy this time, but definitely the same level of exhaustion both times. Something that's majorly different is we haven't really told anybody this yet. We haven't told any family, we haven't told Olivia yet. I have told a couple of friends here and there, but it's just been a very select few people that know. And so that's very different. By this time last pregnancy, we had told everybody. We'd announced it. My videos were going live like in real time since the 4-week video. This one, we're just kind of keeping it closer to our hearts after the 2 chemical pregnancies I had in the last 6 months. I just really want to hear a heartbeat before we start announcing it and telling everybody based on what we experienced this round of TTC versus with her. We just got pregnant right away, and the first time I ever saw a positive pregnancy test became Olivia, whereas this time we tried for 7 months and had 2 chemical pregnancies, and it was really just a hard thing to go through, and just want to make sure everything's right before we announce it, even though I really want to tell you guys, I really want to tell family, and it's going to be so much fun to tell Olivia. So the next 2 questions are the best things about the week and the worst things about the week, and I'll do pregnancy and non-pregnancy as well. So as far as the best things this week, the number more than tripled for my HCG, which is great. I want to see that number continue to climb. I'm really glad that the pregnancy symptoms are getting worse, even though it's kind of a miserable feeling. I just know that those are good signs that the hormones are pumping, that this pregnancy so far is really healthy, and that's something I worry about, you know? After those really early chemical pregnancies, I worry about that. I want to make sure that we have a happy, healthy baby, and so far all signs point to that, which is really good. I would gladly take even more nausea. I'd gladly throw up every day if I had to make sure that baby is cooking and it's gonna be okay. The non-pregnancy best thing is we got an agreement on this house. We agreed on all of the repairs that the buyer wanted, and we are set to sell the house. We have 3 weeks until our closing date, and I don't know when the pregnancy videos versus the secret vlogging of selling and all the secret moving vlogs are going to play out, because both things ended up happening at the same time. But we are set to close in 3 weeks, and I'll probably announce both at the same time, because I think in like the moving videos I've talked about pregnancy, and now in the pregnancy videos I've talked about moving. So they're all gonna hit at the same time. It's gonna be a crazy month for us. We found out we were pregnant and we're moving. It's just great that our selling experience is working out. We are set. And the worst thing is definitely the nausea and just everything smelling so strong and so different. Like things that never bothered me before are really bothering me now, and it's been really difficult having to deal with that. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely difficult, but I would gladly do that to make sure this baby is nice and healthy. The next one is what's on the agenda for this coming up week. They could be pregnancy or non-pregnancy related. I have an appointment in a couple of days to check my week results. I am going back a week since my last appointment. They wanted to see me back to check my numbers again, so hopefully those numbers will be good as well. Another big to-do list thing is Olivia is turning 4 in just a couple of days, and I cannot believe it. I'm just totally shocked. And my little baby is 4 years old. I cannot believe it. She's so excited. She wants a race car cake. She's been going back and forth. Sometimes she'll tell me she wants the moon and the rocket ship cake again, and sometimes she's telling me race car. So far this morning it's been race car, and I'm gonna ask her one more time because I have to get her cake ordered tomorrow. So she's gonna get one final chance to tell me which one she really wants. I'm pretty sure either way she's gonna be totally happy about it. And then the last bit of to-do list items is getting our rental figured out. We did go tour rentals this last weekend. We picked one, applied for it. We just got to make sure that we're approved for everything and get all that finalized. It takes multiple things like security deposits, application fees, lots of paperwork, filling out. We're in that process right now. Hopefully by next week we'll have our rental lined up and we're going to be 100% ready to get this move underway. So since you guys haven't asked me any questions, since you don't know about this yet, I'm going to answer some questions that I think will be anticipated questions. One is, when will we announce to family and to you guys? And I want to do that after my first scan. I'm going on March 13th. I'll be a little over 7 weeks at that point in time. So it's going to be like basically the 8-week scan. If all goes well, I will announce it sometime shortly after that. And then I'll start putting these videos up. So that's my plan going forward. And after we see that heartbeat, I am going to borrow a shirt from a friend. She does know I'm pregnant. She's one of my neighbors and she's also pregnant right now. So she ended up getting some hand-me-down shirts from another lady in the neighborhood. And I was like, hey, can I borrow one of those shirts from you? One of them says promoted to big sister. So we're going to use that for the official announcement. And by now you will have already seen that. I'm going to plan on taking some pictures with Olivia. Hopefully she can tell us that she's going to be a big sister. That's what I hope to have as the announcement of this. And I have a little onesie that I plan on taking a picture with the little ultrasound picture. So I have plans for how it's going to officially be announced. As far as family members, they're going to get either a FaceTime or a picture of Olivia in that shirt. It should be really fun. And the first family member who's going to know is Olivia. I want her to be able to announce it to everybody and make it really special. She's definitely old enough that she's going to totally understand what's going on as much as like a 4-year-old can. She does have a big, it's called the Big Book of the Body, and it's an Usborne book, and one of the back pages shows the cycle of pregnancy. It shows like the mom's body with the baby inside growing, and then the mom like holding the baby at the end. So she totally gets the idea that babies grow in mommy's belly, and she understands that she came out of mommy's belly. She's gonna be excited. She's loved the little babies at the park, and she said, that's his little sister. He's the big brother. And she gets the idea of like how the family dynamics works. She's not asked to have a sibling at all or anything, but she's going to be really excited. So I cannot wait to tell her. Gosh, I'm getting choked up, like emotional thinking about it. I just cannot wait to tell her. It's going to be super duper cute. She's going to be so happy. She's also not going to know like the seriousness of having a newborn in the house. So she's definitely in for a shock when it actually comes. But as much as she's going to understand about it, she's going to be really, really excited. And I just can't wait. I cannot wait to tell her. I just don't want to tell her too early, but she's going to be the first one that gets to know. The hierarchy of who knows is Olivia's going to know, then family's going to know, then we will, make the official announcements. I will do a separate video on like birth plan and thoughts about the birth because I did have a C-section with her. I am eligible for a VBAC, so I will talk about all of that in a separate video coming up eventually. I don't know when that's going to be at this point, but I definitely have thoughts on that whole scenario, and that's been thought out way before we even thought about having another child. what we were going to do as far as that goes. As far as finding out the gender, we definitely are going to find out the gender. We are going to be doing the genetic blood tests. I think they do it at 10 weeks, and we will find out the gender then, and we will announce it sometime soon after that. I'll do a gender reveal like I did last time with Olivia. As far as names, we 100% have a girl's first name picked out. We don't have the middle name picked out, but we have some like top contenders. We do not have a boy name picked out at all, not even close. So that's going to be a challenge. We will not announce the name. Just like with Olivia, I will announce her birth with her name at the same time. So I just don't want anybody's opinion on the name. I definitely have the girl name picked out and I'm just not going to tell. I want to keep it to ourselves. I just don't want all the opinions. I know everybody has opinions on names and I think it's a really personal thing. And I've got opinions on other people's names too. I really like more like classic names. You know, Olivia's a very classic name. And so we're heading in that direction, but I want a classic name that will look good on a resume, basically. I don't want to get too far into that debate because I will really tick people off with my thoughts on names, but I just want to keep the name choice really to myself, and I don't want the opinions. I don't want anybody bursting my happy bubble, so we're totally keeping that to ourselves. We will announce the gender. I can't think of any other anticipated questions at this point in time, but I think that covers like most of the big things as far as the questions I anticipate people asking over and over. Now, to talk about looking pregnant. I already look pregnant and I cannot believe it. I know like people pop out way sooner and like the baby's the size of an apple seed, so like teeny tiny, and I look humongous and I just cannot believe. I'm totally shocked how big I look already. So I'm going to show you guys the bump. My shirt's a little bit baggy, but I'll show you guys. I mean, look at that. That is like massively sticking out and I just cannot believe how round I already am looking as far as this goes. So I feel super round, super bloated, up 2.5 pounds at this point. So it just definitely shows and I cannot believe it looks that big already. I mean, I thought I was a little pudgy before, but this is just over the top pudge right now. And I think it's even worse than last week. So that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna look like a whale, like really early on. But I think that is it for this week. Leave your questions down below if you've got questions, and I'll answer them for you guys soon. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and follow me along. I'm gonna try to post these ones that are like past ones back to back so I can get up to real time really quickly. So you might see one of these again tomorrow, but I'm really excited to be able to finally share this with you guys now that you guys are seeing it. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.